Did you know that Gregor Mendel, the father of genetics, wasn't a trained scientist but a monk? His curiosity led him to observe patterns in pea plants, sparking a revolution in biology. His experiments, simple yet meticulous, involved breeding peas with different traits and recording the results. What Mendel discovered was remarkable. Traits were inherited in predictable patterns, a concept we now call Mendelian inheritance. His simple yet groundbreaking experiments have shaped our understanding of inheritance. Now, imagine a pea plant. Mendel did, and he discovered something amazing. Let's take a journey back to the 19th century, when Gregor Mendel, the father of genetics, was meticulously observing pea plants. He noticed that certain traits, such as flower color and seed shape, seemed to show up in specific, predictable patterns in the offspring. He observed that when he crossed a pea plant with purple flowers with one with white flowers, the first generation of offspring all had purple flowers. But when he allowed these offspring to self-fertilize, the white flower trait reappeared in the second generation. The same pattern was observed with seed shape. Round seeds crossed with wrinkled seeds resulted in round seeds in the first generation, but the wrinkled trait reappeared in the second generation. These observations led Mendel to formulate the laws of inheritance, which are still fundamental in the field of genetics today. One of the key concepts Mendel introduced is the monohybrid cross. Now, what exactly does this mean? Well, consider it as a genetic mixology experiment. It's a process that involves the crossing of two individuals. But here's the catch. We're only focusing on one contrasting trait. Let's bring this concept to life with an example. Imagine we have two pea plants, one with green pods and one with yellow pods. These are our parent plants. Now, we cross-pollinate them, essentially mixing their genetic material. The resulting offspring, or the first generation, will show the dominant trait, say green pods. But here's where it gets interesting. If we cross the first generation plants among themselves, the second generation will show a predictable pattern of traits. Mendel found that 3/4 would have green pods, while 1/4 would have yellow pods. Through the monohybrid cross, Mendel was able to predict the ratios of traits in the offspring, proving that traits are passed down from parents to offspring in a predictable way. So, what can we take away from Mendel's work? Fundamentally, Mendelian genetics and the monohybrid cross show us the predictability of inheritance. They reveal that traits are not blended or diluted, but passed on intact in distinct units, what we now know as genes. This understanding opens doors to predicting traits in offspring, from eye color to disease susceptibility. Even today, Mendel's pea plant experiments continue to illuminate the fascinating world of genetics. They remind us that sometimes the simplest observations can lead to the most profound discoveries.